Hello and welcome to our channel Deus GPT. Today, we'll be exploring a fascinating topic that's been a part of human culture and mythology for thousands of years, the lost paradise. This is a universal theme that appears in many different traditions and cultures around the world, from the biblical Garden of Eden to the Greek mythology and beyond. The idea of a lost paradise represents a vision of a perfect world, a place of harmony, abundance, and peace. It's a place where humanity was once in alignment with the divine, and where everything was in balance. But this paradise was lost due to some transgression or mistake, and humanity was expelled from this paradise, condemned to live in a fallen world. In this video, we'll be diving into the mythology and symbolism of the lost paradise, and exploring how it's been interpreted in different cultures and spiritual traditions. Part 1. The Garden of Eden. In the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is the most well-known example of a lost paradise. The Garden of Eden was believed to be a perfect place, where Adam and Eve lived in harmony with nature and had a direct relationship with God. However, when they disobeyed God's commandment not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they were banished from the garden and forced to live in a world of suffering and toil. Part 2. Dilmun, or the Garden of the Gods. In the Sumerian, Babylonian mythology, humans lived in a paradise called Dilmun, where they enjoyed eternal youth and happiness. In some accounts, it was said to be the location of a divine tree that bestowed eternal life. Dilmun in the Sumerian mythology was the original home of the gods and was described as a garden of the gods. Some scholars suggest that the biblical story of the Garden of Eden may have been influenced by the Sumerian myth. Dilmun is also known by some scholars as one possible origin story behind later beliefs around Atlantis. Part 3. Atlantis. Atlantis is a legendary island that is said to have existed thousands of years ago, according to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. According to his account, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced civilization that was destroyed in a single day and night of catastrophic earthquakes and floods. The story of Atlantis has captured the imagination of people for centuries, and many theories have been put forth as to its possible location and existence. Some believe that Atlantis was a real place that was destroyed by natural disasters such as a volcanic eruption or earthquake, while others believe that it was a myth created by Plato to illustrate a moral lesson or philosophical idea. Plato described Atlantis as being larger than Asia and Libya combined, and that it was a utopian society with advanced technology and a highly organized government, where people lived in peace and prosperity. However, when they became too arrogant and lost touch with the gods, Atlantis was destroyed and sunk beneath the sea. The story of Atlantis represents the idea that when we become too focused on materialism and forget our spiritual nature, we risk losing everything we hold dear. Part 4. Svarga. In Hinduism, the concept of a lost paradise is associated with the idea of Svarga, which refers to heaven or paradise in Hindu mythology. According to Hindu beliefs, Svarga was once accessible to humans but was then lost due to their transgressions. The story goes that after King Indra defeated the demon Vritra and gained control over heaven, he invited human sages to come and enjoy its pleasures. However, these sages became too indulgent and eventually caused chaos in heaven, leading Indra to expel them back down on earth. The expulsion from Svarga can be seen as similar in some ways with Adam and Eve being cast out from Eden according to the Abrahamic religions. In both cases, humanity's actions led them away from an idealized state towards one fraught with difficulties. Unlike other mythologies that describe paradise as a physical location, Hinduism's concept of Svarga symbolizes an ideal world that was lost due to human frailty. This loss has occurred repeatedly throughout different cycles of time in Hinduism and is reflected in the yugas, each age progressively worse than the preceding one. Although Hinduism's ideas about paradise differ from traditional paradises found in other religions, it does include concepts related to the loss of access or connection with an ideal realm that is believed to have existed either in the distant past or beyond our current reality. Part 5. Shangri-La or Shambhala. In Tibetan Buddhism, Shangri-La is a mythical land of peace and enlightenment, where people live for hundreds of years and are free from suffering. This idea was popularized in the novel Lost Horizon by James Hilton, which tells the story of a group of travelers who stumble upon Shangri-La and discover the secrets of its inhabitants. The use of the term Shangri-La is frequently cited as a modern reference to Shambhala, a mythical kingdom in Tibetan Buddhist tradition, which was sought by Eastern and Western explorers. Shambhala is often associated with the idea of a lost paradise. In Tibetan Buddhism, Shambhala is a mythical kingdom that is said to be hidden somewhere deep in the Himalayas. It is believed to be a place of peace, harmony, and spiritual enlightenment, and is often described as a kind of earthly paradise. According to some interpretations, the idea of Shambhala may have originated from earlier myths and legends of a lost paradise or golden age. In these myths, there was a time when humanity lived in a state of perfect harmony with nature and with each other. But this paradise was lost due to some kind of catastrophe or transgression. The story of Shangri-La teaches us that the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment is a lifelong journey that requires patience, dedication, and perseverance. Part 4. The Golden Age. The Golden Age is a concept that appears in many different cultures and traditions, including Greek mythology, Hinduism, Taoism, and Hermeticism. In Greek mythology, the Golden Age is associated with the god Cronus, who is said to have ruled over a time of abundance and prosperity in which humans lived in a state of innocence and happiness. The idea of Arcadia also plays a role in the Greek concept of the Golden Age, as it is a mythical land of peace and contentment. In Hinduism, the idea of a lost paradise is associated with the concept of the Golden Age or Satya Yuga. According to Hindu myth, the Golden Age was a time when humanity lived in perfect harmony with the universe, and all beings were equal and free from suffering. However, as time passed, humanity became more selfish and materialistic, and the world entered a cycle of decline and decay. It is said to be a time of peace, harmony, and enlightenment, where people lived in perfect harmony with nature and the divine. According to Taoist beliefs, the Golden Age was a time of natural spontaneity and simplicity, where humanity lived in accordance with the Tao, or the natural way of things. During this time, people lived in small communities and had a deep connection with the natural world, living in balance with the seasons and the cycles of nature. In Hermeticism, the Golden Age is a period of time in the distant past when humanity lived in a state of harmony and perfection, both spiritually and physically. This era is described as a time when the divine and the human were in perfect alignment and communication, and humanity was in tune with the natural world and the cosmos. According to Hermetic teachings, the Golden Age was a time when humanity was in complete harmony with the divine, and there was no need for religion or spiritual practices, as people were naturally connected to the divine. It was a time of spiritual purity, where people lived in accordance with the laws of nature and the universe. The story of the Golden Age teaches us that the pursuit of spiritual evolution is a constant struggle against our own ego and desires. In conclusion, the idea of a lost paradise is a common theme across different cultures and religions, and it speaks to our deep human longing for meaning, purpose, and connection with something greater than ourselves. While we may never be able to return to a perfect state of being, the stories and traditions associated with the idea of a lost paradise can inspire us to strive for a better world and a deeper understanding of our place in the universe. Thank you for tuning in. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions in the comments section for me to address in future videos. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel Deus GPT.